Are you planning to fly within the United States after May of 2025? A very important deadline is approaching. Starting May 7, 2025, you will need a real ID to board any commercial flight. This includes domestic flights within the United States. Make sure you are ready for takeoff. Without a real ID, you might face delays or even miss your flight. Now is the time to prepare. Don't wait until the last minute. Mark your calendars. May 7th, 2025 is a big day for air travelers in the United States. This is the day the Real ID Act goes into full effect. After this date, a standard driver's license won't be enough to board domestic flights. You will need a Real ID-compliant driver's license or another acceptable form of identification. This new rule affects everyone 18 years or older. Get ready now to avoid any problems at the airport. So what exactly is a Real ID? If you've heard the term but aren't quite sure what it means, you're not alone. The Real ID is a special type of identification card or driver's license that was created to make travel and access to certain secure locations safer and more reliable for everyone. It's not just any ordinary ID, it's designed with advanced security features that help prevent fraud and protect your identity. When you travel by air within the United States, you'll need to show a Real ID at airport security checkpoints. This new requirement is part of a nationwide effort to strengthen the way we verify who people are, especially in places where security is a top priority. The Real ID has built-in features, like special holograms and barcodes, that make it much harder to copy or forge. Think of it as your new boarding pass to the skies. Without a Real ID, you won't be able to board domestic flights or enter certain federal buildings after the enforcement deadline. It's your key to smooth, hassle-free travel, and it's recognized by security officials all across the country. You can easily spot a Real ID by looking for a star in the upper corner of the card. This star is the official symbol that shows your ID meets the federal government's strict security standards. If your current license or ID doesn't have this star, it's time to upgrade. The Real ID Act was passed by Congress in 2005, following recommendations from the 9/11 Commission. The goal was to make our country safer by setting consistent nationwide standards for issuing identification. Before this law, each state had its own rules which made it easier for fake IDs to slip through the cracks. With the Real ID, it's much harder for someone to use a fake or stolen identity to get past security. The new cards are made with advanced technology and officials are trained to spot anything suspicious. This helps keep everyone safer, whether you're flying, visiting a government building, or just going about your day. Starting soon, a Real ID will be required not just for flying but also for entering federal facilities, nuclear power plants, and military bases. So if you want to be ready for your next adventure or need access to secure locations, make sure your ID has that star. It's your ticket to a safer, more secure future. Don't worry if you don't have a Real ID just yet. You can still use other forms of identification to fly domestically. A valid United States passport is always a great option. You can also use a passport card, military ID, or global entry card. These forms of ID are already secure and widely accepted. Be sure to have one of these ready if you are not planning to get a Real ID. Imagine arriving at the airport excited for your trip, only to be turned away at security. Without a Real ID or another acceptable form of identification, this could be your reality. You could miss your flight and face significant inconvenience. Airport security personnel will be strictly enforcing the Real ID requirements. Don't let a forgotten or invalid ID ruin your travel plans. Take action now to ensure a smooth and enjoyable journey. Getting your Real ID is a lot like planning for a big trip. Just as you wouldn't head to the airport without your boarding pass, passport, and itinerary, you'll want to make sure you're fully prepared before you start your Real ID journey. A little bit of planning now will save you time and stress later and help ensure your experience goes smoothly from start to finish. The first step is to visit your local Department of Motor Vehicles, or DMV office. While some DMV services can be done online, getting your Real ID requires an in-person visit. It's a good idea to check your DMV's website ahead of time to see if you need to make an appointment, as many locations now require one to help manage wait times. Before you go, gather all the documents you'll need. The DMV will ask for proof of your identity, your social security number, and your residency. These documents are essential, and forgetting even one could mean you'll have to come back another day. Make a checklist, and double-check that you have everything before you leave home. For proof of identity, you might bring your birth certificate or a valid passport. Your social security card is also required, so be sure to locate the original card, not just a photocopy. If you've changed your name, you may need to bring legal documents showing the change, such as a marriage certificate or court order. To prove your residency, you'll need a recent utility bill, lease agreement, or bank statement that shows your current address. Make sure the documents are up to date and match the address you want on your real ID. Once you've gathered all your documents, head to the DMV and present them to the clerk. The staff will review your paperwork to make sure everything is in order. If you're missing anything, they'll let you know what else you need to bring. But having everything ready will help your visit go quickly and smoothly. There is usually a fee for your real ID, which can vary by state. Be prepared to pay with cash, credit, or debit card, depending on what your DMV accepts. It's a good idea to check the fee amount ahead of time so you're not caught off guard. After you've completed your application and paid the fee, your new real ID will be processed. In most cases, it will be mailed to you within a few weeks. Once it arrives, you'll be ready for your next adventure, whether it's a flight across the country or simply having a federally accepted form of identification for everyday use. Planning a trip can be exciting, but there's one important detail you don't want to overlook: your real ID. Don't wait until the last minute to get your real ID. As travel regulations change, having the right identification is more important than ever. Whether you're flying for business, visiting family, or heading out on a long-awaited vacation, making sure you have a real ID will help you avoid unnecessary stress and last-minute scrambles. Millions of Americans will need this new form of identification to board domestic flights and enter certain federal facilities. The real ID is quickly becoming a travel essential, and if you don't have one, you could be turned away at the airport or face delays that could ruin your plans. It's not just about convenience, it's about making sure you're prepared for the new requirements that are coming soon. As the deadline approaches, DMV offices across the country are expected to get busier and busier. This could lead to long lines and extended wait times, especially as more people realize they need to upgrade their identification. If you wait too long, you might find yourself stuck in a crowded office, wasting valuable time that could be spent planning your trip or enjoying your day. To avoid the rush, check your state's DMV website for up-to-date information on how to make an appointment. Many DMVs now offer online scheduling, so you can pick a time that works for you and skip the long lines. You'll also find helpful checklists of the documents you'll need to bring, so you can be fully prepared when you arrive. In some states, you may even be able to start your Real ID application online, saving you even more time. The process is designed to be as simple as possible, with step-by-step instructions to guide you through each part. Double-check the requirements for your state, as they can vary, and make sure you have all the necessary paperwork ready to go. The sooner you act, the less likely you are to experience any delays or problems. Imagine breezing through airport security, confident that you have everything you need. By taking care of your real ID now, you'll have one less thing to worry about when it's time to travel. Plus, you'll avoid the stress and frustration that comes with last-minute preparations. Remember, having a real ID isn't just about following the rules, it's about ensuring smooth travels and peace of mind for you and your loved ones. With your real ID in hand, you can focus on what really matters, enjoying your journey and making memories along the way. Don't wait, get your real ID today and travel with confidence, knowing you're ready for whatever adventures lie ahead.